Hey, what's going on, Gooners and Goonerettes? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're enjoying the transfer window. I've put a poll up just to find out where you guys' heads, your heart and soul is, because Arsenal are making moves and they're doing things differently. They have their targets that they've been looking for quite a long time now. We've been hearing that some of these guys they've been scouting for over a year. So it's not like they're going in sort of tail between their legs, not understanding the state of play, what they're looking for, what type of leadership roles they're looking for, what type of players will fit their system. They already know that. Their famous yellow book is very full and they're going after the targets that they want. They have plan A, B, and C targets, and this thing is working its way forward. As I said before a couple of days ago, I'm really impressed not just with the authoritarian way that they've been going in about getting their targets and the ambition that they've shown. Not only the fact that they've been able to go out and get these targets that other teams are looking at and talking to as well, but that we've been able to beat our London rivals in Spurs and Chelsea, who both have Champions League football and we don't have that. Yet, here we are, guys, and we've bagged Gabriel Jesus, who's somebody that we know that our competitors have been talking to. Now, Chelsea will most likely settle with Raheem Sterling, and Spurs are most likely just going to have to go with the two that they have. I think the biggest issue for Spurs is what they're going to do with Mora. He'll probably stick around. He's not the type of dynamic double-digit goals player that he would need to be to fit into a front three. As far as Arsenal, they already have guys in Saka and Smith Rowe that have scored in double digits. They will have Eddie Nketiah providing he plays enough games, and Martinelli's form has to come in. He's got to be a player who scores in double digits. He did in his first year, so it's not like he can't do it. He can do it. He just had one of those seasons last year. But I'm looking forward for all this rotation, which I talked about in my video yesterday. But today, it's just confirmation that Gabriel Jesus is going to be an Arsenal player. And I'm hearing Wednesday is going to be the shoot and the actual signing. So hopefully we'll be able to get some pictures up on the website by the end of this week. Who knows what the schedule is going to be like there, but I'm sure that they'll have that all done and ready for us. But the deal's done, guys, and that means that Arsenal have now bagged 3 players. And if they close in on Tielemans, then you're looking at close to 150 to 200 million spent. Now, the biggest question is where is that money coming from? Well, it's not where's the money coming from. Some of the money has already been there, and some of the money will be there down the road. So I'll explain both things. I know we've had year-on-year losses. A lot of that, guys, is due to the COVID downturn, fans not being in the stadium, and the high wages. So it's not one single thing. It's just a plethora of these things that have mounted up to cause these losses. And Arsenal have looked after the books. They've done something which they practically weren't doing before. Under Dick Law and Martinelli, it was just a grand old mess. And when these guys all came in, when Josh took over, and then Edu and Arteta was brought in, and Richard Garlick replaced Dick Law, they just found out that the cupboard was bare. And that's the reason why Sev Mislintat left. It's the reason why a lot of things like Aaron Ramsey wasn't signed onto this deal that Wenger promised him, because there was no money in the kitty. So a lot of things had to change. But it's not just that. I've kept saying over the last 2 seasons, when people have been talking about Edu, Arteta, Josh Kroenke, when they've been bringing up those names and looking for impact, and believe me, they have made an impact because they have spent money. But I think what the fans don't appreciate is having got rid of 21 players, they've been also putting out fires. And putting out fires means to get the books right, get the books tidy, balance them, and we've been seeing a lot of criticism in that respect, but some of it has had to be done. It's been the only way to go, and I know it's frustrated a lot of you in the times where you just had to see the team just say, look, we're going to forego the contract and you can have this player on a free. What it might look like on the outside is that they're just throwing away money, but in fact what they're doing is actually saving money. If you take a Klasnach and if you take other players who are on, like Bellerin, who are on 100 grand a week, and then you don't have that money that is being paid towards a salary, that is a savings. That's a savings of over 5 million a year. Now, a lot was said about Aubameyang, and a lot was said about what they did in January with the players they let go, but that saved them 36 million from January to June. where we are now. And that's allowed that 36 million to be reinvested in this summer. So when you guys are seeing the team going in and spending money, and if there are questions about where is this money coming from, it's coming from a lot of changes in the model that Arsenal have had to submit. These changes on letting players go early have affected the operating costs, because remember we had to take a government loan of 120 million. Remember that? That wasn't pretty. But the reason why that was happening is because when you didn't have fans in the stadium, what was going on was the players' wages still needed to be paid. And so Arsenal was suffering with a high wage bill, low budget income, and the two don't mix very well. Arsenal are not in that position right now because they have saved 52 million per season on salary. That's how much the budget has come down on wages and salaries. And what that allows the team to do is that allows the team to go in and be able to work within a budget. Remember, we're still talking about a sustainable model here, but the difference is that it's now being managed, and it's now being managed with long-term goals. And this makes a by far more healthier club. So that would explain some of where the money's come from in the past and where the money's coming from in the future. Of course, as you guys know, new Emirates rights, new Adidas kick deal, which kicks off in 2024, which is 2 years' time. So regardless what debt that you incur, you've always sort of had that part of the business that's just going to sort of come back to you. That money is just going to fall into your lap while you're still managing the costs of the money that you're saving with a lower yearly salary cost. So I just think that all of this is being managed very, very smartly, and I always look out for those things. But it does show a team that's competent. It shows a front office that has a plan, and then all that needs to come together now is the results. But over the last few years, I've always been talking to you guys about how you get the results is by what you do in the undercurrent. The foundation of how you build a successful team, that is what sets up a winning result. A winning result just doesn't turn up. A winning result just doesn't happen overnight. There are fundamental changes in your business aperture that you have to change in order to get that result. And what we've been seeing while everyone's been frustrated with the results on the pitch is the foundation is being set in the front office. And I think that that is something that we have to also congratulate, because look, has to be applauded, because I've said it many times, we're quick to throw the team under the bus when they don't do well, but we're very, very slow to give them kudos and congratulations when things are going well. It's how much of a well-oiled machine this is. And it's not always going to be like this forever in terms of spending and buying players. We set the foundation last year by bringing in six, 7 young players that we can now groom and move forward. And this year it's now all about the veterans, the experienced players, the people who know how to win and get the results. And if you combine the two together with a healthy wage structure and a good front office and a manager who's competent and knows what he wants from his team, if you combine all that together, that should build a winning formula. And I know some of you guys on the forum have been talking about the reason why they didn't spend in January and all of this, the reason why they've been taking their time is because Arsenal's not trying to get into the top 4. They're trying to win a title. So it's no short-term fix here. It seems that what they're doing is they're building something for the future. So I really do like how that's played out. I really do like what I see on those levels. And that's how the results come. And I think the one thing that's been withholding this back is just fan patience. It's just the patience. And a lot of us, and it's not a lot, guys, it's not a lot of fans who have been negative and screaming with their heads off. It's only a minority of the fan base. But for the majority of the fan base, they've been able to sort of get with the program or trust the process, whichever way you want to say it. But we're starting to see that come to fruition now. And we're starting to see how healthy it looks on the books. And all of this, guys, just means that it's a model that's working. That's all it means. And I know some of you lot are saying, where the title there? Where the top 4 there? Where there? Yeah? It doesn't matter that we can't see it now. What matters is that the progression moving forward with this 3-year plan, and I know they've extended Arteta's contract now another year, but what it does is that they can see at the board level that things are working the way they want to. They can see the initial meetings that they had with Arteta and Edu. They can see that all the things that they talked about 2.5 years ago, because that's how long they've been here, is starting to come to fruition. So all that dead wood you had, All that high salaries with players who was underachieving, all gone. All gone. And this season, you'll be able to see a team that steps out on the field that is completely and utterly changed with this new ethos and the philosophies moving forward. The goalkeeper's new. The whole defense has been changed. The midfield has been restructured this year. We'll see hopefully somebody line up next to Thomas Partey. And even if they don't, then they'll probably go with that 4-3-3 midfield, which would be the single pivot with Thomas Partey, Odegaard as your playmaker, and then Fabio Vieira, who's going to be your hybrid number 8, who just creates and score goals and complements Odegaard. If nothing else happens, say if we don't bring in a Tielemans, which I expect us to do anyway, but if nothing else, then that 4-3-3 still shows that it's moving forward. And then the front line, a completely new, rebuilt, different front line. So we can see that this whole thing has been changed, and it's been done in a level that has worked, and is something that has just not been a desperate move, and they've not thrown money to hope that it sticks like other clubs. If you look at like what some of the other clubs, like what Chelsea are doing, and they're losing players, you know, Ziyech and Rudiger's gone. I mean, they're losing a ton of players. You look at Man United that are just in a mess, spent 800 million since Fergie left. And where are they now? They're no closer to winning the title. I know they finished second the year before, but they've taken a massive nosedive in terms of where they are, and all they're left with is players who on 300 grand a week, 350 grand a week, that are just not getting the job done. And that kind of reminds me a little bit where Arsenal weren't as bad as that. Let's be fair. We had Ozil and Aubameyang. United have like 6 or 7 players that are getting paid over 200 grand a week, and they're just not getting a result from them. And that is a place that you don't want to be in, because now it's harder to get rid of those players and move them on. It's harder to then bring new players in, because you have to structure everything and balance the books. So for Arsenal, I think that that's what's working really well. So listen, once again, congratulations to Gabriel Jesus. Welcome, your Arsenal player. Really happy about that. Don't really need to do a whole segment on him, because you guys know who he is. I done that interview on the last video as well, welcoming in, just so you guys can see a little bit of his insight, see how good his English is, because some of you guys are sending me questions is he can't speak English and all of that stuff. So that's why I put that little thing, just to remind everybody. He's already been on Match of the Day, he's already been talking to Sky Sports, and his English is very good. So listen, we're moving forward, and so are we at 101. Really impressed with the way how you guys have supported the channel, and I really do appreciate that. You know, over 100 subscribers in the last few weeks as well, so congratulations to you guys for that. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll hit you guys up in the next one. Peace out, man. We're doing things. Nice one, guys.